What's up, y'all? My name is Matt Townz, and I'm a hip-hop artist out of Dothan, Alabama. My music, to me, it would be more of on the side where people can feel it and relate to it, telling real stories.
So you make a distinction between hip-hop and country rap. What's the difference?
To me, more, and like I said, I will say I'm more country rap. I don't have nothing against hip-hop, but I'd say hip-hop is more of mud and the redneck style rap. And I mean, I'm from the South, I'm from Alabama, but mine is more of telling the life that I lived. You know what I mean?
So beer drinking, tasting women.
Yeah. When they talking about that in every single song, I feel like that's more hip hop.
Okay. What's some of your influences?
Some of my influences, when I was young, my favorite rapper was T.I. Had always been T.I. From T.I., Tupac, of course Eminem. But and I mean, I'm inspired by a lot of the country rappers too, because they're kind of in the same category as me. So I like watching to see how other artists grow, and it helps me grow.
You mentioned God a lot in your music. Are you religious by any chance, or what is the
Yeah. I would, I'd say I'm a Christian. Without faith, I wouldn't have got it as far as I have. I feel like just as far as I've got now is all God.
You were featured on the news a while back, your story. Tell us a little bit about that, your story.
I'm, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm a recovering addict. I was addicted to methamphetamine and opiates. They kind of interviewed me. It was somebody sent them an email and told them to get in touch with me, and they interviewed me. It was called What's Good in the Neighborhood. And I kind of just told them, it was a little short segment on how I lived, how I did what I do now, about how I changed my life up and used music to reach others.
Do people reach out to you saying that your story or your music inspires them to do better?
Oh yeah, all the time.
What's some of the messages you get?
Just that I've had people tell me that they've had family members who were still struggling and heard my music, and it motivated them to go to rehab and stuff like that. My goal is to hopefully to touch as many people as possible. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to make a living too, but my main focus is touching somebody who may be still in that life, or for even it's somebody who may have a son or a daughter who's still stuck in that life. I just want to, I guess, kind of make an impact from my story and show people that no matter how low you get at the bottom, you can always pick yourself back up. And that goes back to God, me talking about God, because God's the one who helped me do that.
By the time I leave here, the legacy will be stuck. While y'all trying to impress them, we just lifting them up. I get it in every day. Hip hop made me who I am.
I guess if I was talking to my younger self, I'd say don't do it like that way. Do it this way, because I've had for an example, I've had a lot of people tell me that they didn't get it until they were in their 40s or 50s, you know what I mean? And so some of those people that told me that's what I would have told my younger self. Because I had a lot of people who were still struggling with the drug addiction and struggling with all that motivated me to go ahead and get it right for my kid, basically, at the time. I mean, I had to do it for myself, but my kid was my main motivation.
What was your lowest point on drug addiction and being out there? What was the lowest point?
And this, to be real, this is one of my favorite things to talk about, because like it's different for everybody, but for me, I was emotionally drained. I was tired. I was living in West Palm Beach, and I wasn't even as bad off as I had been before. I was still using. I was on Suboxone. I was living in a halfway house. I wasn't trying to change. I was just trying to maintain at the time. But I seen one of my friends, and he said, if you ever decide you want to get off of them and you want to do right, call me. So I called him the next day, and it was like just the way I felt. Like I was in the backyard. I had some weed. I took my medicine that day. It was just something inside of me let me know I was ready. You know what I mean? It was like but I mean, I had been to the point before where nobody would let me in the house and I was homeless and all that. I'd been to that point before, but this point, there was just something different. I feel like God worked on me in a different way. Because it could have been, when I finally decided to do it, it could have been way worse. But I'll never, like, the worst, I mean, I've had a lot of bottoms where some were worse than others. I try to tell myself that, especially now with just going through life in general, just life on life's terms or whatever, I always make sure I remind myself where I come from instead of getting too comfortable where I'm at now, because if I get too comfortable, I can easily slip back.
Talk about the fans in the movement, how they're just a part of the music and how people vibe with it, like they feel like they're a part of this movement.
Oh yeah.
Bigger than you.
Without the fans, I don't feel like it would be possible at all, because the fans are the ones that motivate me to keep going. And I feel like, to be honest, I don't look at it as like a fan base. I look at it as like a big family. That's what I look at Townz folk as. Because we can all relate to each other. We can all feel each other, you know what I mean? Everybody's story is different. Everybody's been through different things. But just having the fan base that I do have, it shows me that I'm not alone.
What are you working on in the future?
In the future, I think I'm gonna try to do a few more singles. I got a couple I've been working on. I got one that's it's kind of like a blues rock sound. And then I got another one that I'm just gonna try to touch it all. I want to do some real hip hop. I want to do like the little blues style I was doing. I just kind of want to mix it up. But I'm gonna do some singles.
How long have you been doing music?
I started writing music when I was in like 2nd grade, but it was more like country songs. That's how I got started in the music, but I started rapping when I was in 6th grade. I just want to say I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Always remember, all things are possible through God. Whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it. And I'm proof of that. I love y'all.
So roll one up or grab a beer. We about to put a show on and do it all from home sweet home. I'm from the sticks.